Welcome to our last day, the fourth day in our workshop for computational design using Autodesk Dynamo. And today, as I was explaining, I will be talking about having the direct method of modeling to send directly from Dynamo to Revit. And again, we're going to have the absolute tower. Sorry, I was a couple of seconds ago, I was broadcasting without sharing. And now you have these towers. You can just put that in Wikipedia or in Google, and you get lots of information about how the actual tower is being constructed, each level, and how much rotation it got, as you can see right here in this slide or this page. What I have done, and there is of course lots of information you can harvest from the internet, including this picture that I found, and it can give you a basic example of, or basic understanding on how that has been generated. There is two ellipses inside each other. The smaller ellipse has, the defined for the tower himself, the building itself. And the outer ellipse is just defining the, the slab's location, and also it can help us to define the location of the parapet. So if you go back, you see that there is an inner geometry and outer geometry. If you focus a bit more on that, if we zoom in, you're going to see that those outer edges or slabs or cantilevers, they are the outer ellipse that I just show you in the image. And they create or help us to create actually the slabs. And if you zoom in a bit more, I think there is other pictures that I can share with you. You can find the, let me see if I can find the balconies generated. Nope, not in here. I didn't copy paste them. But we can do that right now in Google if you want. You go to Google and just put pictures of absolute tower. And you can notice that not only there are slabs, but there is balconies on that. So let's go images, maybe make less. I think this one, yeah, or even this one. It's, I think, took from the other tower. So you can see that there is balcony here, and the balcony kind of having a distinct shape. And yes, it will follow the same geometry that the cantilever has. So that's the point, or that's what we are really looking at. So we have the three elements now, exactly. One for the mass of the building, and the second element will be, it's the same as the third element, which will define the slabs and also will define for us the railing or the parapet for all the tower. So now we don't have any information about the plan. We just have a plan, and that's all. That's it. So what you have to do is basically, which I already done this process, and it's also part of the Autodesk Revit basic course, is that you take this picture and go to Revit and insert it inside the Revit. So let me allow me to speak that part that I said in Arabic. Again, we have the tower. احنا عندنا البرج هنا يا اخوان. And البرج مكون من كتلتين أساسية، كتلة للبناية اللي فيها الجزء الزجاجي اللي فيها البناية المبنى نفسه، والكتلة الخارجية راح تساعدنا في تكوين الأرضيات وتساعدنا في تكوين الهاند ريلينج. هذا اللي كنت أقوله باللغة الإنجليزية. وبنفس الوقت هذا راح ينتج من البلان اللي شفناه الآن، اللي هي الدائرة الصغيرة اللي هي البناية، والدائرة الأكبر أو البيضاوي عفوا الأكبر اللي هو السلابز والريلينج. Now the problem we're facing, we need to put this in Revit. المشكلة اللي راح نواجهها انه هذا المخلوق او هذه الإيمج لازم تخليها داخل الريفت وتسوي لها scaling. So you have to put a reference، لازم تخلي مرجع او خط، وبعدين ترجع on that reference or that line you have to go to make scale reference. So you can scale the image. راح ترجع تصغر الصورة من مقياسها الحقيقي، من مقياسها الغير المعلوم from its unknown scale as an image into what? Into an image to scale. That will help you. راح تصغرها من صورة عديمة المقياس إلى صورة بمقياس. وبالتالي now when you draw the ellipse or when you take the dimension, لما ترسم هذا البيضاوي وتاخذ عليه أبعاد, you will be able to understand how much x and y, how much the length and the width of the ellipse. If you don't know how to do this, إذا ما تعرف تسوي هاي الخطوة, please have a look at my YouTube channel. I already uploaded a couple of examples, including this tower, all whole videos, tutorials, by the way. So have a look at it, تفرج عليها وشوفها من الشانل كيف يتم عملية عمل المقياس المرجعي or scale reference for a specific picture. ارجع again شوفها بالإنترنت باليوتيوب تبعي, and I can post the link for you. If you don't know how to do it, just check my YouTube, and I'm happy to post the link for you if you didn't. Now, this is not my concern for today. هذا مو اهتمامي أو هدفي لهذا اليوم. My main concern today is to do the geometry. I will give you today, راح أعطيكم اليوم the X and Y for those two shapes, and so we can proceed to create the geometry in Dynamo حتى نكمل شغلنا بالداينامو rather than in Revit itself. ما يهمني Revit الآن أكثر ما يهمني الداينامو. I'm not really focusing on Revit in this workshop rather than focusing on Dynamo. So I will leave that part for you, and I will be providing you with the information related to the X and Y. راح أنا أوفر لك المعلومات عن الطول والعرض. So let's just start. I do believe that I wrote some information about it. Nope, I think. So where is it? Let me double check, please. Let me first open Dynamo. That's it here. Push that aside. And let's start up with a new file. So what do we really need to do? We really need to create a chain of points. So the same concept. In the Wikipedia, you can check that I think it's how 57 floor, and each floor has a height of 6 meter. Of course, I opened in the background. I'll repeat in Arabic. البناية مكونة من 57 طابق, وكل طابق ارتفاعه 6 متر. ونحتاج هالمعلومات من أجل أن نكون سلسلة من النقاط التي تتحرك عموديا. So we need points. That's what we obviously agreed about, or really understand the whole concept of towering is about. بالحقيقة الآن نحتاج إلى نقاط اللي هي كل مفهوم التاورات تنبني عليه أساسا. So that's the point by coordinate, the basic thing we are dealing with so far. And again, we're going to feed Z values. راح نوفر قيم Z لهذه النقطة. Now, I will go right click and راح أكتب, actually not right click, I'm going to go code block. So I'm going to start from 0. راح أبدأ من الصفر. 2 dots إلى 2. And then I will write 57, which is the amount of floors. 2 dots by stepping or by using من خلال 6, which is the height of the single floor. I'm assuming the height of the single floor as a 6, by the way. I'm not really sure about it, but I'm going to go for this assumption. Now, ما أعرف أنا الارتفاع الحقيقي 6 ولا لا, بس رايح ويا الفرضية, بس أنا شبه متأكد منه إنه الارتفاع عدد الطوابق 57. Now, of course, it's going to be a mistake. الأكيد راح يطلع الناتج خطأ. ما في داعي للفزع. So if you open this and pin it, إذا تفتح النقطة وتضرب البن هذا تبعك تثبتها, you're going to see the failure right here. راح تشوف الفشل جاهز. You're going to see that it's going from 0 to something less than 75. أنت رايح من الصفر إلى شيء أقل من 57. لأنك غير قادر على الوصول أو إضافة 6 إلى 54 راح تسوي 60, because if you add 6 to 54 it's going to be passing the 57. So that's a completely rubbish thing. So what we really need to do, we said that in Dynamo, in range specifically, in the sequence of making a list of number, if you want to jump to the actual number itself, put it as it is. إذا أنت حابب تروح للرقم فعليا حطه مثل ما هو. If you want to jump, if you want to use steps, if you want to use interval, إذا أنت حابب تسوي قفاز أو فترات أو متناوبات, so you have to add the pound, this one, symbol. This represent, هذا يمثل or inform أو يبلغ الداينامو that you want 57 jump. أنت أصلا ناوي تسوي 75 قفزة. 57 jump with a value of a 6. بقيمة 6 أو بتزايد 6 with the increment of a 6 meter for each one. This is exactly what we want. So 0, then 2 or via من خلال 57 jump, and you can count them 57 jump, that each one of them is 6, so 6, 12, 18, and you have to do that 57 times. I'm not really sure if we can do that. I think we can do that. تقدر تسويها باستخدام السيكونس إذا مو أنا غلطان, if I am not wrong. Why? Because you can add 0 as a start value or not, because تقدر تضيفه أو لا, القيمة الافتراضية هي already يا صديقي صفر. The amount you can add slider or not. follow yesterday lecture تقدر تضيف سلايدر أو قيمة ثابتة. so 75 قفزة، كل قفزة قيمتها each step is 1. lovely, so I am correct. 6 is the value of each jump. and you have this one. so if you feel yourself إذا أنت حاسس نفسك يعني يصير عندك فشل كلوي يعني بسبب هاي الحكي اللي أنا دا أحكي. if you feel yourself going to have headaches because of what I'm talking about, use the sequence, don't use the code block. It depends on what you see easier for you. اعتمد التجاهل اللي تحبه أو ياهو الأسئلة. Daniel is asking what would happen if pound is with the 6. Excellent question. I love this question. Now look, let's have another example. If we have to go from 0 to 57.6, now again we saw that what happened. That's going to jump each 6 until it's reached something with 57 or less. You know, that's obviously you understood it. فاهم، واضح انك فاهمه. If you put pound here، اذا حطيت الرمز pound هنا، now it's gonna divide the distance between 0 to 75. راح يقسم المسافة من 0 إلى 75 بمقدار 6 مرات with the amount of a value of a 6. It's gonna divide the distance from 0 to 57 into 6 intervals, into 6 equal intervals. From 0 to 11 to 22 to 34 to whatever until you reach this value. This is useful when you want to divide a line that length 57 with a 6 steps, or you want to add 6 trees on a line that its length 57. مفيد لما عندك خط ولا 57 وتريد تحط عليه 6 أشياء أو تقسمهم 6 تقسيمات متساوية. Does that clear it? Yeah. So I will. So 6 mean equal. So pound means equal theoretically. No, let me tell you what's welcome. Let me tell you what does mean the pound. Pound mean intervaling or stepping, reaching the target using intervals or steps, whether you put it as the end of the range or the step of the range. If you put it with the number, then the number is not an increment by itself. إذا حطيتها قدام الرقم فعملية التزايد ما راح يكون بالرقم، راح يكون as a jump of or as a division of a 6. Okay, so if the distance from here to my point to your point is 1 meter, pound 6, that means we have to jump 6 times to reach you, and Dynamo will know how much or what is the value of each jump. Dynamo راح يقفز المسافة بيني وبينك 100، حطيت pound 6. I'm repeating in Arabic. Now Dynamo will ask us or divide to create 6 jump equally to you. That's the thing. Yeah, pound means units, I guess. It's exactly mean intervaling, فاصلة or steps, like a mortgage payment, like an amount you divide it into 20 payment. Disregard how much the value of the payment itself. That's what it means. Now, thank you for this good question. So whatever method you feel yourself comfortable with, just connect this, okay? And this one or this one, my friends. أي طريقة تحس نفسك سعيد معاها. Okay. By the way, eventually بالمناسبة هاي أسرع من هذول. This one is faster than this one. It won't gonna be shown now. ما راح تبين عندك هسه يا بطل my hero. It's gonna be shown in the future. The less nodes you add, كل ما قل عدد الnodes, the faster and the more efficient Dynamo and Revit will be. So now you get the picture. كل ما زادت سرعة، كل ما قللت النود، كل ما زادت كفاءة الداينامو نفسه. Anywho, so now what we have, let's see what we have. We have this. If we zoom out, we're still in this mode. So I'm going to zoom out. You need to see all the points. So those are 57 or whatever the points are, and these are my nodes. Excellently done. Now that's it. Now what we need. Now I'm gonna need an ellipse. So I'm letting you go right click. Now حاجة إلى ellipse شكل بيضاوي. We're gonna write ELLIPSE, and we're gonna navigate the options. راح نتصفح المتاح أو اللي راح يوفر لنا البرنامج. Look, this dude, he's gonna buy. Look at always buy. دائما انتبه على كلمة حرف الآلة حرفين الباي. فهذول خلاقين أو مكونين. Those are creator, constructor, we call them. ByOrigin and Radii So this need an origin, a center point. We have عندنا مركز. It need radii, so 2 radiuses. Okay. So, but we have to be smart and look at the inside panel pop up. لازم تكون عندك بتباوع على القائمة الجانبية. You're going to notice that it needs points. All right. And what else? It need doubles. Okay. So if I click this one, this is look perfectly fit with this. And let's navigate the rest of the option. I'm going to go with ellipse. And let me check what is this one. It needs a coordinate system. This one, it needs plane. That's interesting. هذا يحتاج إلى coordinate system مثل ما what happened with us last day or yesterday مثل ما صار يعني البارحة. وهذا يحتاج plane. So let's put this one also to have a look. This dude is the same as that. نفس القصة. Okay. And the only one difference is that one need plane. So I don't know, for some reason I'm using the original script. I'm using the plane one, not the direct point, and I think that for the sake of the rotation. If I stuck, I will come back to change it to this one, and I think I will. أعتقد بالنص الأصلي أو التصميم الأصلي اللي أنا صممته I'm repeating in Arabic أنا مستخدم هاي لأنه أعتقد الروتيشن دالة الروتيشن the rotation function will need a plane, but for now I will connect this. Okay. Now how much is the first ellipse? I'm gonna write it here. And I'm showing you a new way of writing, by the way, in the code block. So you have هراويكم طريقة جديدة بالرسم باستخدام الداينامو code block 30 and then you're gonna go comma semicolon, sorry, and then you go 42.5, okay? And then if you click outside تدوس برا هو راح يضيف لك الكوما. This is a very lovely way of dealing with the code block. So instead of give me one input بدل output عفوا it's going to give me 2 outputs. So you have to, better than creating 2 rectangles like what we've done here, or 3 rectangles or 3 code blocks, sorry. بدل ما تسوي 3 you can make 1. Okay. And again, if you wanted to make it parametric, computational, and able to be more into generative, اللي حابة تسويها computational wise أو تريد تسويها بعدين generative صحيح. لا تنسى please refer for yesterday lecture. رجع إلى محاضرة اللي راحت البارحة. محاضرة رقم 3 lecture number 3, so you know that you really need to use the slider. Don't forget this. I'm using this because I'm just lazy. أستخدمها لأن أنا كسلان لا أكثر ولا أقل. Okay, so that's my ellipses, as you can see, all by points, as you can see, right here. So, any questions so far, boys and girls? أي سؤال لحد الآن? Anyone have any comment? You need some time to do that. I will leave you a couple of minutes to do that. Okay. All clear. Excellent. So can you follow up with me? Let's do that together. Can you follow up with me, please? Let's do that together. This is the nodes that we need. Yes. بدل هاي 30 تحط سلايدر وهنا تحط 42.5 سلايدر. نعم. أو تحب تسويهم كود بلوكات منفصلة حبيبي بكيفك. بس أنا حبيت هنا أعلمك إنه يمكن الكود بلوك الواحد ينطيك أكثر من output. See now, for example, for those who did the job, we can create node, and we said in the node you can use sequence node or code block and exclamation mark. See, just this. It's good to describe what are you doing, that's really important. So maybe then you can select all those, Control G, and we said that's the sequence of vertical points. Okay, that can describe for you and others. راح يوصف لك سلسلة من النقاط أو تسلسل من النقاط العمودي. راح gonna describe for you in the future what have you done when you forget a couple of months or a couple of days in this video. That's really important to organize your work. كلش مهم إنه تحط نوت تذكرك بعملك وليش سويته بهالطريقة. notes مع grouping وتكست هنا وهنا كتابة وهنا so it can explain for you what you have done حتى توضح لك انت ايش سويت. Okay, same thing, you can add a text here for this one or this one to explain why you use this one, not this one. So are we ready to go ahead, guys? You need more time? I will wait for a couple of minutes and then we... Okay, good. Excellent. Daniel, thank you for sharing. I got the files. Same for Sham, same for Selma. Appreciate the sharing. So let's proceed. Thank you very much. So now, as you see, or as you probably imagine, from the complicated or the special way they generated the rotation value of each plane. So if you want to, have a look of this mess, okay, see, he's just saying باو على المصيبة اللي هنا. هو ده يولد لك, he is generating, that's the floor number, هاي أرقام الليفلات, and then there is the rotation value in each group, زاوية الدوران لكل مجموعة. The problem is it's like a periodic, هي عبارة حقب, مجاميع. So for example, the first period start up from the first floor, which he call it ground, and if I wasn't mistaken, it's stop at 9, راح يوقف إلى رقم 9 يا صديقي, معطيا تزايدا بمقدار 1 درجة with an incremental value of 1 degree starting from -10 بادي من ناقص 10 and then +1 +1 +1 زائد 1 until he reach here. Sadly, this is not what happened since after. Now he jumping 3, 3, 3, 3. You see now, that's a good thing. Disregard whatever method he is using. Have a good understanding. بغض النظر عن وش جاي يسوي. اتعلم انه reverse engineer others work. اتعلم تستخدم الهندسة العكسية حتى تحلل كيف الاشخاص الاخرين طلعوا هذا الشغل. افتهم. Try to understand how they did it. So you have to separate into groups of rotation. So this is the first group, and there will be a second. I think they are all 4 or 5 groups of rotation. I will follow painfully what has happened here, right now. So I will start from the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 levels. So I will do that. Let me show you. So I will go right here, and I will go from 0 to 9, right? And dot. That's it. So that will generate for me from 0 to 9 the level. So this will be level 1, level 0 will be level the ground floor, 1 will be 2 there, and so on. So can someone tell me what's wrong I've done in here? There is a big mistake. Excellent. Excellent. You have to write here 8. لازم تكتب هنا 8. The reason is because 0 counted. So that's my 9 floors. frustrating. Yes, I know. But excellently way of thinking. That's excellent, you catch it. Now, this is one. Now, double click again. Now, from minus 10 to minus 2, if I am not mistaken. From minus 10 to minus 2, exactly. Let me see if they actually match. And the incremental value is 1. If you write it or not, إذا تكتبه أو ما تكتبه فهو نفسه يعني واحد. You don't need it anyway. And it's going to start from minus 10 and it's going to end up by minus 2, minus 10, minus 2. Very happy for that. That's excellent. So these are the levels. These are the rotation value. هاي الليفلات وهاي زوايا دورانها. طيب, the problem is المصيبة هنا يا أبطال. The problem is this, that these dudes are all the ellipse. الشباب اللي هنا هم كل الليست. How we can tell Dynamo to please extract parts only انطيني مجموعة من الأرقام. That can be easily done if you use a command called list.getItem@index. This one. list.getItem@index. This will take, هذا راح الإعاز ياخذ من الليست الكبيرة from this big list. Okay, this big list. صح? He need a list. This is a list. This is list. This is list. He need index. أفراد. الإندكس هنا هو فرد. It's a member. 0 is an index. Member. فرد. واحد هو member. And so on. So call out for those guys. نادي لي على الأشخاص المدرجة أسماءهم الآتي. Call me for those people whose name is 0, 1, 2, up to 8. Up to here. Those guys give me a new list. انطيني list جديد بها those naughty list. Okay. Those part of those selected for this deformation. التشويه اللي راح نسويه. This is the concept. هاي الفكرة. إنه استقطع لي من هالليست نادي لي الأشخاص اللي أسمائهم 0, 1, 2, 3 لحد 8. I'm repeating it. So that's the whole idea. That's how it works in this. Now, I know now what to rotate, and I need to rotate, of course. So rotate. So what we're gonna need, let's have a look. This dude, again, انتبهوا. You have to be aware of, are you rotating a coordinate, are you rotating a vector, or are you rotating a geometry? انتبه بالعربي. In Arabic, you have to understand, هل أنت تدور الجسم أم تدور محور؟ اقرأ read on the box on the left. اقرأ المكتوب هذا يقول لك input vector. No, not this one. Not this one. This one. Look at the input. It said geometry. Okay. جسم. ممتاز. That's what I want. Origin. لطيف. لطيف. Perfect. Okay. Now we have points as a reference of the rotation. Why not? Vector. متجه. Yes, we can arrange that. It's the z-axis usually. And degree, which is double. This one. This one is my baby. All right. هذا المطلوب. Or if you have this one, it gonna requires you to provide geometry and plane. So if you use this one, if you use this guy, you have to use this guy. If you use this one, you have to use this one. In the origin document, بالفايل الأصلي, I use this one and this one. The reason is because this have one extra input, which is axis, which I didn't want to repeat. But anyway, I have to add extra level here to create the planes. هاي أنا شفتها أسرع ولو هي هنا تحتاج إضافة. I'm repeating it. Anyway, so that's in the past. So what we have, geometry. This is the geometry. Origin. Okay, that's easy. These are my origins. Axis. It's vertically up. So z-axis. العمودي. ZA. Uh-oh. Right click. ZA. So that's the z-axis. المحور الZ. And the degree, they are already right here. جاهز. And that's what we really need to look at. Zoom. See? Not a big of a distortion. مو فالتغيير كبير. But there is a distortion from minus 10 to almost 0. تقريبا من 10 يا إخوان إلى 0 تقريبا. So that's successfully passed. Okay, we don't need to do anything else. That's done. Now, back to this. Now, I want, of course, I'll remove this one aside. Now, this dude and all those guys, I'm gonna go copy paste them, sorry, group them, and I'm gonna call that from 0 to level 9, right? Now let's copy that. خلينا نستنسخ. سميه لي الجروب واستنسخه. ويفضل to give it another color, maybe orange. So these are processing areas. So now this dude, I will go from 10, I'm just going to add 1 here, so 10 to 25. Why? Because at 10 or from 10 من 10 الحد رقم 25 يا صديقي up to the 25 floor, we are jumping each 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 and so on, jumping by 3. So we can do that. So I'm going to say from 9, don't forget, it should be less than 1. So this is 8, this is 9, up to 24. So it should be 25, sorry, it would be here 24. Okay, so as simple as that, this will help us to get a good understanding of it. And now the rotation angle, they are from 0, and I guess they ended by 45. That's true. ينتهون ب 45. ممتاز. يبدي بصفر يخلص ب 45. والقفزة ومعدل الجump 3. Okay. Now we said jump by 3. That's a clear value. So you're going to get from 0 to 45, and you have 16 value. That's excellent. Admit. Okay. And now if you zoom in, my dear friends, you're going to see a big mess happening. That's what we want. Now we have a rotation, a new rotation. You can see because now we are talking about around 45 from the origin. That's the origin الأصلي, وهاي الدورانيات لحد 45 up to 45. Excellent. Let's proceed. Let's take this one. You need time to do one by one. Did you do this, boys and girls? سويتوا هذا يا شباب؟ Are you done with this one, ladies and gents? I'm just watching. We'll do later. Okay. How about the rest? Are you doing the same, or you are working with me so I can provide time? What do you prefer? And this is 25, guys. Cool. So let me go ahead and continue. Now, let's go ahead. Let me finish this. So I'm going to go there. And of course, I'm stopping here 25. So I'm going to start here from 26. And I will be ending up to 39. How do I know that? Because I already done that couple of times, my friend. And okay, if you go here, you're going to see from 25, 26 actually, you're going to jump each 8 this time. See the incremental value by 8. راح تلاحظ معدل القفزة صار بمقدار 8 لحد ما توصل إلى الليفل 3 9. So 25 here, instead of 26, less than by 1, أقل بقيمة واحدة. وهنا 39 will be 38. أقل بقيمة واحدة فقط. And the incremental value وقيم التزايد, it will be 50 if I am not wrong, and it end by 154, and the jump should be by 8. Now, excellent. Now you can see that the tower is twisting significantly this time. Yep. You can see the outer one is fixed and the inside one is the one we need. Okay. Now the fourth jump, my friends, القفزة الرابعة, it's gonna be 40 to, let me grab the number, to 51. So that will be 39 by 50. And the angle are 159. Again, you can go back to the table and compare it to 192. and the value will be 3. Again, everything sounds good. The last phase is just the last 4, so it's not a big deal. آخر phase هو آخر 4 واللي يبتدئ من 52 وينتهي ب I think 56 بمعنى which means that will be 51 and this should be 55, and I think the increments will be from 194 194 ending to 198, and it will be increase each one, so probably I don't need to write anything. That will be increase of 1 if you need to check. See, now that's it. Now I got my shape, my list divided into sub-list, and each one of them is rotated accordingly. حولت الليست الكبيرة إلى لستات صغيرة وتم تدوير كل واحد حسب المطلوب. Now remember, the origin list should be offed, so turn off the view. طفي الفيو الأصلي للليست تبعك. So what else we have? That's the geometry we have. Now something is wrong, even though اكو شيء غلط, even though that I turn off the original one, still I can see this, you see. Anyone can tell me why? اكو حد يقدر يقول لي ليش؟ Let's have a look. What is causing the duplication? شنو اللي يسبب وجود نسختين؟ الحقيقة tripulation 1 2 3 or 1 2 3. Exactly, the list.getItem. Perfect, this one. Okay, this one also I have to off it. See? ممتاز, perfect. The list, the one that actually taking the origin, cutting the slice of the origin, is having a copy for itself. See? اللي تاخذ الأصل أيضا بقي نسخة يمها in Arabic. See now, that's how great we have to get rid of the original one, and that's my rotation angle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, what I am really need to do, it depends on what we are doing. Are we doing the shape or we are doing the, let me first unify them. So that's the tower itself, I think. Let me double check. Yep, actually that's the wall maker. Yeah, that's the original body of the tower. So what do we really need? We really need to use, we need to create it as, we need first to unify those together so we can add a solid for them or a surface for them. It depends on what you want. So I'm going to go list. ضيف list يا صديقي حتى توحدهم. And I don't know how much, I think 5. And let's start unify them one by one. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4, and that's that, and that's it. So, okay. So I don't need the last one. So those are now again one object. See, now that's the problem of the duplication. You start to see some of them look like مشاكل الاستنساخ عبارك ما تم اختياره when you try to select it. Now whatever you want. If you want to make surface, it depends on what you want. شو تريد تسوي by loft. If you want to send that to the old method, that's the dangerous thing. But anyway, we can fix that. If you want to make a 3D object and send it to Revit based on the previous method that حابب تدزه إلى Revit conceptual mask وفق الطريقة السابقة, كيفك ضيفه. Now that's if you want to make surface, of course, so it's open. Okay. إذا حابب تسوي solid, حابب تسوي solid, again by loft. شوفها يا صديقي. Now, anyone tell me why it's sliced? Why it's mass, or geometry? Why it's divided? ليش مقسمة? Anyone have any idea? Let me give you some hint. Yes. Yeah, it is already combined, but they are joined rather than combined. So this list is this. Then this list is this one. Yes, That's exactly what I want to hear. We have to flatten the overall list, because what we have now is a big list and then small list. List كبيرة or list صغيرة, or sub listing or nested listed. Nested listing. Sorry. So this is a common area and a common issue. And as you can see, or as you saw, you can just simply list dot flatten. That will be the saver for all the time. راح ينقذك دائما. سطح المسألة. See now the difference, so you understand. There is no sublisting, my friend. And you can tell from the L1 and L2. تقدر تعرف تخلصت من الليستة الفرعية. شلون تعرف بعد انه اكو ليفلين من الليست. ليفل العناصر وليفل الاب. مو ليفل العناصر وليفل الاب الاول والجد. تتخيل الفكرة؟ Not the son, father and grandfather. It's not 3 listing. No, 2. You know, that's what we really want. And good to understand, by the way. Now, if we connect, now we should get, you know, a pure correct solid. See? واضحة يا شباب? Is that clear, boys and girls? الفرق بين الاثنين؟ Yes, حبيبي. This one? You okay? تحب ابعث لك بكل الاحوال، اقدر ابعث لك السكريبت، ابعث لك البيكتشرز جاهزه يعني اذا تحب. yeah, go ahead. If you are working with me, يا ريت يلا go ahead. I'll wait for you, of course. Tell me when you're done, حبيبي. Okay, Ahmed, can we go? Okay, cool. So now I don't need list. Sorry, I don't need surface. راح امسحها. Actually, even the solid that I don't really need. Now, what I need a wall function. I need a node. أحتاج إلى node. تولد جدران. It will create walls in Revit. Let's recap again. Let's focus on that. We really need a node in Dynamo to create immediately walls in Revit, not conceptual math. So I'm not really concerned. مباشرة أريد أخلق من الداينامو ولا ريفت. ما أريد أهتم بالجيومتري اللي مطيها داينامو. Okay. So that's really important. So something is really to understand. We don't need to solid this. Actually, we don't need that. And you're gonna know that in a couple of seconds. Now, right click. I'm gonna write walls. What do I have? I have wall by curve and heights. Okay, جدران باستخدام الكيرف والارتفاع. I think this one. Okay, so this one, it need curve. Yeah, we have curve, right? Those curves. It need heights. Okay, we can provide heights for each wall. That's easy. نقدر نوفر ارتفاع جدار سهلة. And we can have what else it need? Level. Okay, beautiful. We can have levels. We already have, احنا اصلا عندنا المناسيب هنا صح? Those are levels. In a way, they are not, but we will make levels out of them. Now we need a wall type. Beautiful. So let's do that. So we don't need, so in the function انت بالدالة الأساسية هاي, this will create in Revit, not in Dynamo, the wall. So what do I need? I need those elements. I need a curve. These are my curves. Okay, those are the curves. I need to know the height. Come again. I don't think this is a package. This is a default one. Yeah, because that's a Revit command. So it's immediately should be available in Dynamo package for Revit. So exactly, you know, Daniel, what this mean? This means that we are working with this command. You see this one, Habibi? You see this command? We are calling this command, which is available in Revit, so we don't need an external package. Now, height, lovely. So what is our height? This is our height, right? 6. So shall I, like, can I add a slider here? A slight enhancement? I'm just being nitpicking, أنا بس دا, doing over the thing. But if this is 6, this could be A, and this B could connect it, and that will be 6, and, so I don't get the headache to change the height manually. Just do it computationally. Connect the link. Now the levels, now, ouch. Now, are these levels? No, they are the heights of the levels. هل هذول ليفلات؟ لا. هاي بالمتر ارتفاع الليفل. That's the height of the level. And there is another word for it in English or in architecture. They call them the elevation. An elevation, not the elevation of the object. No, مو الواجهة المعمارية. No. The other vocabulary, the other meaning for the vocabulary. So the elevation is the height of a point. Also in English we call it level. So we're gonna need here. We need level dot. And let's read. Okay, what is this? Select a level now. What is this? I don't know. Here, by elevation. Look always for by because it's constructed. And read it. اقرأ. It's gonna say create a Revit level. سيخلق Revit level giving its elevation من خلال توفيرك له للارتفاع by providing the height or the elevation. The name will be whatever Revit gives it. دير بالك ترى الاسم راح يكون ما راح يعطيك اياه Revit. Yeah, I will accept this risk. So it give me level, and before I connect, let's put this one here, and let me minimize this قبل ما أبدي بالفضائح. Look at the levels. شوفوا الواجهات الليفلات اللي عندنا. Only 2 levels, right? And if you don't understand the concept of level, I'll be very sad in my grave. Have a look at this from 0 to 4. من 0 إلى 4. What are this 0, 4? These are the elevation. These are the heights of each level from the 0, 0. But this one is the level. So that's in case if you don't distinguish between them. And I'll be again very sad. Now, let's go back to Dynamo. And look, I'm going to connect the level here. I'm going to connect this dude here with this one. So that's the, I'm going to connect this one. Sorry, I made a mess. Connect this one to these values. Now, Revit execute, Revit نفذ. Now look what he's done. He created for us a level, a group of levels. Same that we have in the elevation that we have for each part of this tower with an extra one, of course. Now, I'm not going to go to the detail of making -1. I'm super lazy. You can do that later. So now I have levels. See, there are levels, right? And the elevation is beside. اسم الليفل وبعدين ارتفاع. If you want a pin, اسم الليفل, the name of the level, and its height, its elevation, he call it. Now close this wall type. Right click, whatever it's here, write it, wall type. Okay, اكتب اللي مطلوب. Wall type, that's wall type. مبروك. Congratulations. And wall type simply is wall type, I'll assume that you already have previous knowledge in Revit. So if you're gonna go, أنا فارض إنه عندك معرفة مسبقة بالموضوع يا صديقي. So go for generic 200 mil and connected. I don't want to connect it. What I am calling now is when you click the wall command, if you remember, إذا تتذكر لما تضغط المرحوم هذا مش راضي يشتغل يعني مش عارف ليش. Oh, there's no walls to be created in the elevation. My bad. So wall, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the wall types. So the wall type, this is wall type. That's a command, and I'm calling it here. أناديه منه. That's all. Let's connect. Let's connect. And now Revit will do the magic. Let's see what's the problem. Okay, and a crash. It's okay. Delete this instance. Let it finish. Okay, let's go 3D. And there is a good delay in it. And actually there is nothing happened. Let's see why. Yeah. Can anyone tell me or help me with why? Yalla ya shabab. I need help. Anyone thought of that before? And there is not even a warning. It could be, yeah, it could be the reason. But I will go around that. I will go completely around this. And yeah, the reason is this, and even if we close it and open, my analysis for that, because I have done this error before. Let me help you to get out of it quickly. Just let me save. That Dynamo have misunderstanding of what type of curves you're providing. So let me save. Because you shouldn't, mal mafroz, you shouldn't create a direct wall by a one ellipse. Even though, by the way, it's available in the subcommand. حتى وإن كان الإعاز خلق الجدار البيضاوي موجود من مرة واحدة. I don't know why it's taking forever to save the file. That doesn't make any sense, by the way. Just save, dude. Okay. All right. So let's look it in the other way around. So I'm gonna move those aside. I'm gonna disconnect this, and the assumption that I reached that the ellipse is not really understood or translated property as a curve. ما افتهم هو ككيرف. In Arabic, ما افتهم الellipse ككائن مغلق. He didn't understand the ellipse as an enclosed entity, one curved entity, as a good suitable material for Revit to create like a line-wise or as close as a line-wise element, which is a curve. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a dirty and a useful and really life-saving trick. راح أسوي فتحيلة قدرة بس بنفس الوقت كلش مهمة. And I'm going to show you why it's dirty and why it's important. Look, I'm going to need a curve dot point at parameter. And I figure out that you start to understand what I'm going to do. I'm going to break the ellipse. راح أكسر الellipse إلى مضلع for a polygon. And that will ease the pain for Revit to understand that it shouldn't be that much of a curvature and that much of a complexity. أنا ما رايد لا التعقيد ولا القوة الخارقة. هالكيرف هذا راح أقسمه مثلا إلى 20 wall. I'll divide this curve into 20 segments. So avoid use highly complicated curvature. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this curve, this dude, and I'm going to add a parameter from 0 to 1 to, I don't know, 0.05 maybe. So 20%, each 5%. And of course, the result will be another rubbish. You see that he add a point and he go up like a helix and he stop in here. The reason is that you need to right click on that and choose lacing. اختار من اللacing اختار cross product. So cross product will make a point at each ellipse or 5% point at each ellipse. الكروس برودكت راح يلزم واحد ويخلي لك عليه 20%، مو يلزمهم كلهم ويخلي لك على كل 5% عفوا قفزة. Each ellipse كل قوس in Arabic again, each ellipse will have like 5% division. Now that's important. Now I got this, mean if I use the Polygon by points, now I get my closed polygons. Now look, I got صار عندي نسخة مضلعة من الهبل هذا from this complex curve, and that's what you really need to consider when you work in Revit. Try to avoid as much as you can from the curvature. If you are إذا حابب تكون مصر, then make this number. If you want as close as curvature, close this number. Make this number smaller. You'll get as close as possible. But for some reason, he rejected to identify the full closed ellipse as an acceptable curve. ما قبل الellipse ككائن واحد مغلق. فكر, think, which I didn't try yet, to split the curve into two pieces and then use them as two shell or two arcs. جرب تقسم نصين جرب arcing. ما جربت أنا بعدني هالأوبشن. جربت هذا. طيب, now I have polygons, and can I connect? I think no. And again, it's going to crash. And before that, you really need to explode. It didn't accept multiple line because a poly is a multiple. متعدد، ما تقبل الفكرة أصلا. So I'm gonna explode. Okay, which one? That's the geometry. Yeah, lovely. So I'm gonna explode into pieces, into small segments of lines. Let's see how, let's do the response of this.